Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to take an overview of the course Selenium with Python. Now before jumping directly to the course contents that what are covered in the whole course, what we are going to do is we are going to understand some of the necessities and some of the requirements that client may come up to you and you have to satisfy all of them in your test cases. Right? Now suppose that someday some client comes up to you and asks you to automate some 5,000 test cases. Right. So what you will do is you will start making the test cases with the knowledge of Selenium code and the programming knowledge with the programming language. Right. And you will start building it. But there is a large number of test cases that you are going to create now. There are some 5,000 test cases as I said. So for those test cases, what you need to have is, you need to have some of the report that will keep up record about what's going on in the test case at which point. Right, because no one can sit in front of the system looking at what's going on and writing it down in the pen, in the notebook and sharing it with the client. Right, that's not what you can do. So you need to have a report generated, and that report should be that clear enough that if someone takes a look to that report, that person should be able to understand in one go that what's actually going on in the test case at a specific point. Right. So for that you can add up some screenshots and some logs, making sure and giving the information about the test case. Fine. Now screenshots are not like that you can add up at every point, but at the critical points. Fine. So generating report is one of the necessity that you may have in the whole test cases, that if you have this much number or even if you have 10 test cases also, you should be able to generate a good HTML report. Right. The same way over here, if you have 5,000 test cases, then there is a possibility that test case 1 is having some different data, test case 2 has some different data, and the same way all the test cases may have different data or may be sharing the same data. That's a possibility. But if they are sharing different data for random test cases, then you are not going to hard code the data over here. Right, in the test case, you will not be hard coding the data. Why? Because it will become very tough job for you to edit that data in any case there is some change. So what we can do is we can keep the data whichever we are going to use in the whole test case into some external files. Right. Now when I talk about data, the data is also of two different types. One is the changing data. Now the changing data could be like some usernames and passwords. And one is the data which is not going to be changed frequently, but yeah, it's going to be into your Excel file, right? So that is what you need to handle. The second type of data is non-changing data. Now non-changing data, basically the URL comes up, the locators that you are going to extract the element from the web page, that may come up with, or some admin user and password, that is a possibility. So we will keep the data in the external files and we will connect these test cases with those external files so that the data could be fetched from the external files and be transferred into the test cases. Fine. Now comes up the requirements that client may come up. Now there can be number of requirements from the client. Which are those? We will be discussing them now. The first requirement that can come up is basically that I want to run my test cases on grid. Now grid is a mechanism by which you can run your test cases parallelly on different machines. I'm not going into the detail, but just for the sake of information, I'm telling you that this is a mechanism for parallel running on different machines. to save some time, you can say. So that is very much possible. So your test cases that you are going to make, they should be capable enough to run parallelly on the grid on different machines, different platforms, right? Then suppose out of those 5,000 test cases, 100 of your test cases fails. 100 of your test cases fails and you have to rerun those 100 test cases that has failed. So your project structure should be capable enough to rerun the failed test cases, right? And same way, optionally also, you should be able to run the test cases. Fine, these requirements are totally up to the client whether he wants it or not, but your project should be apt enough to have these changes easily made. Okay, then comes up the implementation of test cases with GitHub. Now GitHub is a place where if you have a team of 20 members and they are working on their local machines, then GitHub is a place where you can collect all your data together in a place and execute it from that particular location. Fine, it is a place where you can keep all your data. Okay. And the same way, implementation of Jenkins can also be a condition from the client. So Jenkins also should be able to be integrated into your system. Now all these requirements we have discussed, but how these are going to be possible? When I talk about these test cases are nothing but the Selenium code and they will help you to automate the browser only. But they are not going to read any data from the external file, not going to generate any report, or not going to help you to run the optional test cases, implementations of Grid, GitHub and Jenkins. So for that, I need to have an intermediate controller which will help me to get the control from these test cases, read the data from the external files, get it into the test cases, help me to generate the report, and all these requirements are going to be successful by this intermediate controller. Fine. So this is something that we need to have this is the kind of structure that we need to have made for the real project. Fine, because for 5,000 test cases, writing random test cases will not work. We need to have a proper management. Fine, so this is something that you need to understand. Now coming back to the course content, how will you manage all this stuff to be done? That is what we need to understand now. So over here, in the course, what you are going to learn first is the programming knowledge, right? The programming language you are going to learn, and that's very much clear. You will be able to understand it one go. If you don't even understand it, you can repeat it number of times. So there are modules divided. Over here, these modules that you can see, these are the Python basics. Now in this Python basics, you will be getting to understand the object-oriented programming, then the data structures which Python has, because from external files you need to arrange the data in a particular data structure. Fine, so that is what you are going to understand. Inheritance, encapsulation, two of the concepts which are important and will come up in the further use. Reading the files, reading the external files are over here in these two particular modules. Fine, this is just for the sake of information. There are another way of reading the data from the Excel files as well. That also you will be understanding as soon as you move on. Okay. Once you have learned the Python basics, you will move further to another topic, which is the PyTest. Now this PyTest that you can see over here, it's a framework for writing the test cases. The controller that we have talked about, this is the controller. The PyTest is the controller. It will help you to generate the reports. It will help you to add the screenshots and many things it's going to do. Fine. So once you have done with all these modules, you will understand yourself that why is it important. Fine. The same way, once you are done with the PyTest framework, you will move on to the concept of Selenium. Now Selenium is itself a big term. We cannot just concise it into some few words. It has a number of topics. So all those topics are covered over here in these modules, along with the number of lectures that are inside, plus the timing that will be taken to just see those videos. Fine. And at the end, when you will be learning all the information regarding the programming language, the PyTest framework and the Selenium commands, then you will come up with the frameworks. Now frameworks are nothing but the end-to-end project. Right now there are only 2 frameworks. More of the frameworks will be coming by time. But these frameworks that are covered over here, they are in detail. They have a number of information that you will be learning. So whenever you are watching the videos, you are watching the modules, do make sure that once you have listened to that video, do practice them as well. Because just by listening to those videos, you will not learn Selenium. Fine, so do practice it as well. It will take your dedication and your time. Then only you will see that what's exactly going on in the commands and why they are done like that. Fine. So this was all for the course content. Thank you.